Hey, KJ here with today's daily KJTV. I thought I'd give you an update. If you've been following along, you probably know that I've been trying to write down as much as possible and get back to basics in keeping a daily planner. Went through about 7 different planners at the beginning of the year and ended up with this one. This is called the Phoenix Journal. It's on Amazon. I highly recommend it. It actually has sections at the beginning of the book to create goals and habits and break down large vision plans into goals, etc. It's got monthly pages. It's got weekly stuff, so on a weekly basis you can actually do things, and then on a daily basis, I just like the format. It's got on one side your calendar that you can actually take care of your notes and a journal of what actually happened. It's kind of like my diary and log who I met with, who I had calls with, etc. Key actions, focus of the day, key tasks like your task list, and then it has some uh, good reflection questions. I'm grateful for what today. Trying to focus your gratitude. How can I face my fears today? A victory that I'm proud of. How can I improve? And then it's just got a inspirational quote and a blank page of notes. What I love about this journal that others don't have is that usually one page is not enough. And so at the back of the book, they have blank pages that you can actually continue on, create an index of, etc. This is a 12-week journal. And again, as you can tell, I've been using this voraciously in meetings and taking notes one after another, doing really good stuff here. And so the one takeaway here is that um, there are more things that are worth writing down than you think. There are more things worth writing down than you think. Now, it is middle of February, going hopefully into March really soon, and I've already iterated and evolved. I've made the decision to actually invest in one of these, an iPad Pro. This is 11 inch. I struggled a lot, largely because my friend Chris is a big fan of the Remarkable tablet. The Remarkable tablet's kind of like a super duper Kindle. It doesn't have a glass and light display. It's got kind of like the Kindle where it's the paper white, and it has like almost a textured writing experience. It's dumbed down. It's not supposed to be a multifunction device. It does have internet, so you can sync through the cloud, etc., but it doesn't have a browser, doesn't have its apps, etc., and it's quite expensive. It's $500. Almost pulled the trigger on that, and it's through, I guess, seeing peers that have used the iPad Pro almost to basically replace the laptop, my MacBook Pro. So this has been an experiment over the last week and a half, 2 weeks since getting this, and to be honest, I have not left this office with my MacBook Pro. My MacBook Pro now is standing on my desk, and it stays here. This goes with me. I don't have to carry a big laptop bag or anything like that. This has been one of the best investments that I've made. Now, I did not opt for the keyboard and portfolio that Apple gives. Instead, I've opted for this other clamshell keyboard device, which allows you to pivot, and it's a tablet. It's multifunction. You can um, have it at different angles, etc. And it has a keyboard. Now the keyboard's really cool. I don't know if you can see this because there's light in here. Let's see if we can. But the keyboard is LED displays, and you can cycle through um, different. Let's see if you can actually see different. It's really cool in lower light settings. It's got several solid colors. You can cycle through the lights. Really nice, nifty little novelty there. More than that, though, it connects automatically. It allows you to have the pencil magnetically docked on top as well. Even when it's closed, it doesn't leave. It's a pretty good case here, and it's actually much cheaper. It's less than half the price of. Let's see what's going on here. Half the price of the Apple keyboard. Now, what I love about this whole system is that I've invested in a note-taking app And I'm using now. I've been testing different note-taking apps, but I've gotten a digital daily planner that is just quite amazing. It allows me to take notes, as you can see. I've bought the horizontal version. I don't know if you can see this. Um, but every day I've been taking notes on this, and you can either type or you can do things, take notes, etc. I was in a meeting today conceptualizing stuff. And so this has been fantastic. It's got clickable links. You can go to a specific calendar, a yearly calendar, and then you can jump to what's today. This is the week of February. You can go to a weekly calendar. There's a weekly review page for the end of week review. All the things that you find, stuff like this, but actually much, much more. And then there's the actual specific day pages. Let's just go to one page. Here I was actually using the keyboard to look at the calendar. I'll show you a blank page here. So you got the calendar on one side. You got your top 3 tasks at the top. And then there's some notes on the bottom for what are your wins and some personal stuff. It actually has tons of other things too. For instance, specific meetings has a meeting section, and you just click to, I'm going to go to February, and then you have these templated meeting notes. You can also have projects, right? So you can look at your projects. What I've done is I've taken my different clients and organized that. When you click on a client, it goes to a project roster, and then within each has a project page, right? So again, it details it out. And you can break it down. You can actually have the goal. It identifies the people and roles, specific milestones, tasks, and due dates, assignments to, etc., and track that all here. And then there's all these other things to do, right? You can keep track of your tasks for home. What else do they have? Keeping track of your finances. They've got budget worksheets that are pretty cool. You can manage your monthly budget and keep track of that here if you really wanted to. What else is really cool? On the self-care area, they've got areas for daily journaling, habit trackers, workout, meal planning. And then these lists are cool. It's a place to keep birthdays and people if you wanted to actually keep track of things that you might jot down for people's birthdays and special occasions. So that's a great way to track that. What else? Here, all the time get recommendations for things to watch on Netflix or books to read. And so this is now a place that if I have a conversation, I could jot it down and there's a place to keep it. So it even has stuff like this where if you're going through the day, you need to jot down your grocery list. This planner has been quite amazing. There's hyperlinks everywhere. There's actually I believe over 40,000 hyperlinks to let you go through. So for example, if you wanted to go to, I don't know if you can see this, come into focus. If you go to January or February, if you want to go to a specific thing, you can go to a month. And then from here, you can go to the specific days, or you can actually click on the week. And then the week goes to the week page, and then you can go to a specific day. It just allows you to jump back and forth. So this has been a great tool. I'm really excited because it completely has replaced this. But because this has infinite pages, I don't have to worry about the things such as, running out of just doing one page of notes per day and jumping to the back of the book. Here, I could just copy the template and insert additional page, and all the hyperlinks still work, etc. I've been playing around with 2 different PDF apps, note-taking apps. One of them is Notability, and the second one is NoteShelf 2, which is the recommended app for the person who designed the planner that I'm using. And there's tons of versions available. However, it seems to me right now that NoteShelf is actually a good solution. It even allows you to do things such as, I believe you can record audio in meetings, and it'll be synced here. I actually have a version of the app apparently on my phone that if I go to the app, well, let's see if I lost it. If I go to the phone, you can actually see there's a recording button, and if I record here, it'll record the audio from whatever meeting I'm in, and then place it into the document where I'm taking the notes, so that if I'm in a conference call or something like that, or some strategy meeting, client meeting, and we want to backtrack and go back to the recording, you can. I thought that was just a really neat application here. So that has been my evolution, and to be quite frank, because this iPad has cellular capability, and I'm carrying around like this, and because I don't carry my Macbook Pro anymore, because I'm not carrying this anymore, because my phone, here's a little tip of the day. If you see an Apple Watch with a red dial, that means it has cellular capability. So I have cellular capability here, cellular capability here. I can take and receive calls. I can take and receive calls. I actually don't need my iPhone anymore. So I'd love to hear what your workflow is. Are you using a daily planner? Are you using a analog one, a digital one, combination? Would love to hear what your solution is and what you've been thinking about to up your game in 2020. And do you have any tips for me for Note Shelf 2, the digital app that's available on my phone, on my tablet, my iPad, or on my computer? It syncs all in the cloud, so it's available anywhere that I go. Do you have any tips for that app in particular, or using a digital planner? So that's a little bit of my journey. I'd love to hear about yours. Drop in the comments below, and let's iterate and evolve together in our productivity this year.